Media at Flow Communications. It's Miliswa Sichwele. Good morning, Miliswa.
Good morning, Puleng. How are you?
I can't complain. Is Sondaging on your side?
Sondag is Sondaging, and Sondag is my favorite day of the week. So I'm very happy to talk to you today on my favorite day of the week.
Baya. Goed. So, Miliswa, how often do social media trends change or evolve? Because for some of us, it just feels like it's every second, every minute, every hour.
It is actually that. Social media trends are so dynamic. Some change within days, some within hours, especially when there's been like viral moments or memes or breaking news. The micro trends like short form video on TikTok, that has taken a little bit of time to like actually come into fruition. The pace really depends on the platform. So sometimes TikTok will be quicker, but LinkedIn will be a little bit slower because it's a professional platform. But what it means is that practically brands and communicators need to have an eye and a finger on the pulse, because there's new trends every day and social media platforms are changing every day, but you gotta stick to your niche and what it is that you're about.
So, what do you mean, brands? So, because can I just quickly go back? I attended the Humans, which is an app that pays influencers or connects influencers with brands, and then the brands pay them to promote their the brands on their social media. And what I gathered from them, they announced the top 20 influencers for 2026. So and these influencers and content creators are using Humans. And from the conversations I was having, I heard from social media lead that they actually keep tabs on certain influencers who use the app. So when you're saying brands are keeping an eye, do they follow certain creators? Like somehow there's, just like algorithm will shuffle and bring you to a certain conversation. So influencers must know that they're constantly being watched. Nji.
That is it. Being on social media and being in this space means exactly that, Pulling, that you're constantly being watched, your stuff is being seen, people are looking at you. And by brands, I mean like brands would be Standard Bank is a brand, FNB is a brand, Flow would be a brand. And these are companies that work within the space. They also are watching influencers and creators. I think for the past like 2 to 3 years, it's been a creator's world. And I'm sure you've seen how many creators have just like spiraled out and are like now working with big brands. There's a creator that I follow on Facebook. His name is Tolile, and he says, "Hi, Julia." He looks at people's Julia making food, and then he talks about that stuff. He's now in a Nando's ad, and he's a creator. So brands are watching people, and brands are watching people, creators, and creators are watching brands. I hope I'm making sense.
So then you're not just posting, you are advertising yourself.
You are a walking, living, breathing brand.
CV.
And you're advertising yourself. Yeah. And I always say, like when I talk to people, when I do social media training and I do do's and don'ts, I always say that if you can't put it on a billboard, don't put it on your social media. Whatever it is that you want to say about anything on social media, you have to be so careful, because it's your CV. It's how people encounter you. Before they meet you on social media. Therefore, you have to be the person that drives the narrative. You have to be the person that says, this is the Milusa that you're going to see on social media. You always have to be so careful about the brand that you curate.
So then how do we use the knowledge of these trends that we see coming and out to our advantage?
I said earlier when we started talking that there's always going to be a new trend. There's always going to be a new meme. Someone is going to want to jump on something. You need to know why you're on social media. And I say this because some people are entrepreneurs. They're on social media because they want to sell product, or some people want to be thought leaders. So when you know why you're on social media, then you will be careful. You will know the kind of narrative that you want to drive about yourself. So let's say there's a new trend, the Jerusalem challenge, for example. Everybody was doing it. Brands and people jumped on it. But if you have told yourself that I actually want to be seen as a thought leader, I'm not going to be dancing on social media, then you don't jump on that trend. You look at trends that align with your personal brand, and then you say, okay, this is my personal brand, and I'm here to protect this personal brand. Therefore, I will choose not to jump on so-and-so trends. Is that
But then
clear?
the water becomes a bit murky. Like you just said, you say, okay, now I'm a thought leader. There's no way I'm dancing. But I mean, you would see some dancing, and I think, and sometimes it's okay for visibility's sake, don't you think?
It's okay for visibility's sake, but at what cost? You know, my thing is like, at what cost? So you can be visible and do the Jerusalem challenge, but is it going to help you, let's say, clinch your next deal? Or is it going to help you talk to the CEO or CFO that you want to talk to? You know, you always have to weigh those options, especially if you're building a personal brand on social media. What does this do for me? You know, you can't just jump on something. You're like, what does it do for me? Is it, yes, I can be visible, but am I visible to the right people?
Yeah. All right. Now let's move to the top 5 trends that we can then expect this year.
Cool. So I'll talk about trend 1 that we can expect this year, which is a trend that has been carrying on, I think, from the last 3 years, which is short form video. You've seen, like, on Instagram, on TikTok, and Facebook, and Reels and Shorts, people want bite-sized content. They want things that they can look at and just, like, you know, catch them in within 30 to 60 seconds. Yes, there's still space for long form content, but short form content has really reshaped the way that people consume content, because the attention span is so short. You are fighting for attention with somebody that wants to know what Kanye West wore, where Beyonce is, or is Bonang in the country, or, you know, that is the attention span that you're fighting with. Therefore, when you create content, it needs to be short, it needs to be sharp, it needs to be bite-sized, and it needs to be visually compelling. I always say, when you create content as a person, as a brand, as an organization, it needs to say, stop and stare. In my long scroll that I'm doing, I need to look at your content and be like, I like Puleng. I want to engage with Puleng because it is compelling and it has made me stop on my tracks. And the second trend, and we spoke about this, and I love that you spoke about this, creators. So creators, it's a creators economy. You know, yes, influencer marketing is a big part of the world and the way that marketing works. And brands are building long-term partnership with creators. And you might see there are smaller creators with 10,000 followers, and there could be big creators with 1 million followers. But brands have seen that in order to tap into community, which is what social media is about. It's about community. They need to tap into creators, because creators are the people that live around us. So those get ready with me to go to work, or top 5 interview tips, or behind the scenes at the radio station, that stuff is gold. And that is being driven by the creator economy. And I love creators because, you know, social media has just opened us up to a world where back in the day, you needed to send an ad to, like, the newspaper or the radio station, but now you can create content and people can see it. And that is why the creator economy is so beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing to be part of. The other trend is social commerce. I don't know how many times you're scrolling on your phone and then you see like a sneaker from Superbalist, and you can actually buy from social media. And that is such a big trend, because now the platforms are keeping you within the social media ecosystem. You know, they're building shopping experiences that are direct onto your feed.
Sorry to interject there. We have to take a break. Please just pause for me. We definitely are going to continue. Let's take a short break.
We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet, Channel 628.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix.
Historia ya msikilizaji ya Valentine Day au siku ya wapendanao ilianzia katika nyakati za kale za dola la Roma. Watafiti wengi wa historia wanaamini kuwa siku hii inahusishwa na sherehe za kipagani zilizokuwa zikifanyika kila mwaka katikati ya mwezi Februari. Msikilizaji, sherehe hizo zilijulikana kama Lupercalia na zilifanyika kuadhimisha uzazi, upendo na mwanzo wa majira ya kuchipua.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Conversations are happening and Channel Africa is at the heart of them. We tell the African story with clarity, pride, and purpose, reaching audiences that matter to your brand. Partner with us and connect your business with listeners across borders in multiple languages and markets. For partnership opportunities, sponsorship, or sales, email us at partnership at channelafrica.co.za. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Weekends just got better. Only on Channel Africa. Tech Africa every Sunday, 9 till 12 noon, Central African Time.
Chatting to head of social media at Flow Communications, Miliswa Sitwele, who is joining me virtually, looking at the top trends, top 5 trends that you can look forward to specifically for social media in the year 2026. And Miliswa, I believe we were on the second one, or we're moving to the third one because you spoke about the creators' economy.
So we were on the third one, which is social commerce, when I was talking about how social media is influencing the people, the way that people buy product, because you see now ads directly on your feed. You can buy stuff while you are on social media. And that's like literally one of the trends that I see dominating even still, because platforms are building shopping experience. They are building in shopping experience directly onto the feed. So for brands and for people, it means that your social media presence can be a sales channel. So even for the entrepreneur or for like a big business, you can actually use social media, and that can be directly a sales channel. And then trend number, should I carry on?
Yes, we're going to the fourth one.
And then the fourth trend is the move to authentic content. You know, I think when social media first came out, especially a platform like Instagram, everybody wanted to be polished. It was curated, beautiful feed. But people, like I said, it's authenticity that keeps coming up. Is this word called authenticity, especially with younger people, they're actually moving away from wanting to see overly curated feeds. They want to see real. They want to see grit. They want to see authentic. I mean, again, I talk to the creators I follow on social media. There's a guy, he lives in Cape Town, and he lives in a shack and works at Woolies. And he started documenting his journey, waking up in the shack, going to his job at Woolies, coming back, and he amassed so many followers on social media because that is the real life. That's what people want to see, not an overly polished, overly curated feed that people cannot actually engage with. And then the last trend that I see coming is AI-generated content. It's that juxtaposition between AI-generated content and authenticity. You know, as AI floods the platforms, there's a counter trend that's emerging where audiences, like I say, are actively seeking real. They want human voices. They want to know behind the scenes. They want to see, get ready with me, because AI, the AI created content clouds people's judgment. Then you're like, what's real and what's not? So I think the opportunity here is for brands to lean into transparency, to lean into employee advocacy, to lean into real customer stories, and to just be differentiators, because, you know, the AI world is like so big and so vast, and sometimes people don't even know what's real. So you have to be authentic and you must be real. And if you have used AI in an ad or in content, then, you know, you can say, I think platforms now allow you to say, you know, helped by AI.
AI generated. I've seen that. Yeah. And then the last one.
That was the last one.
Oh,
so I've done
5. Wait,
we looked at the first one.
Okay, we looked at.
So yes, we looked at short form content, taking dominance. We looked at creator economy that is maturing. It's the year of the creator. We looked at social commerce and how platforms are building in social commerce into their ecosystem. We looked at authentic content over polished perfection. And then the last one, we looked at AI-generated content and the need to always be authentic and just be human.
Just a question though, around brand collaborations. As a brand, for example, you can start your own page and push it there. Why do they feel like, even though, for example, a chocolate brand has their own social media page, they still feel like, let me feed it to so-and-so? Let me rather have this person instead of just putting it on my page, even though kinali my own followers there.
Because people want to know about people. That is why the reality TV segment is so big, because people want to know about other people. What are other people doing? What are they eating? If I see that a friend of mine bought a Ferrero Rocher, I'm most likely to buy it because I trust that my friend bought it, as opposed to me seeing a Ferrero Rocher ad that is done elsewhere. You know, so it's that trust, and it's the knowing that when people converse They trust each other more. And if for example I go to a restaurant and I put pictures of it on my Instagram, my friends are likely going to go there. So that's what brands have seen. They need to tap into the humanness of things because they understand that people want to see other people and people trust other people. Not that they don't trust brands. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's end this chat right here. And one thing I know is that satire and comedy will never be out of fashion. We are yet to find more hilarious clips. I don't know. I find that also it sells easy, man. Like, I don't know, for maybe creators to kind of build momentum. I find satire and comedy to kind of help them build. That's why each one, even doesn't matter how serious you are, once in a while you'll find so and so tap into the comedic side of it, and then they step back to their lifestyle, to grow their brands.
100%. I mean, look at Coconut Kells. Coconut Kells started as with satire, and she built her brand around satire and humor. And yes, there were some people that actually believed her and could not pick up that it was, she was using satire. But that kind of content is also like, it's clever, it's witty, and you have to be with it. So I love the fact that, like humor is, goes a long way, because people come onto social media to escape. It's an escapism. You don't want to think about your life. So that's why sometimes when people see things on social media that are too heavy, they're just like, no, I'm not here for this. I'm here to laugh. I'm here to see beautiful pictures. I'm here to connect with my friends. I'm not going to be watching, things that are going to upset me. So I love that you say that, because humor and connection is literally the backbone of social media.
All right. With just 2 minutes remaining before top of the hour, 10 o'clock, Melissa, Sicheli, and I are just going to end this conversation right here. Thank you so much for chatting to us this morning.
Cool. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Awesome. And Meliswa is head of social media at Flow Communications. This is Channel Africa. Yes, it's the station that you're listening to. And the show is called Tech Africa. Second hour of the show, we're going to get into tech for good. And that is where we're going to look at a platform called Mom Connect, which is a groundbreaking digital health initiative by Reach Digital Health that provides pregnant women with prenatal, during, and postnatal information, and prioritizes maternal and child health using mobile phone. We're going to be talking to them on our Tech for Good segment in the second hour of the show, and later on we're going to be chatting to my guest about the future of podcasts. Do they work? Where can they? I mean, we know they work, but where exactly are they heading? And I'm going to be talking to Mongezi Mtati about that conversation, who is the lead creative and strategist at Roger Wilco. Okay, so we're going to take the news. I have to go to the news now.
SABC News. The African Perspective.